more importantly, growing up in suburban Boston, Mark learned lessons early in life about painful blessings and fierce grace as a die-hard Red Sox fan. Mark also internalized lessons from beloved community, spending summers at overnight camps from the ages of 6 to 23. During those summers, Mark developed a love of the outdoors and a deep sense of our interconnectedness. Grounded in this belief that separateness is the illusion, Mark does his best to live out Thurman's admonition to do what makes you come alive, keeping in mind that what we do affects everything around us. After the service, there will be light refreshments in the Sims room back behind the sanctuary and an opportunity to get to know Mark better. So please spend a few minutes. Okay, now for several announcements. Okay, the most important one is for parents who have children in nursery care. The gathering will happen not upstairs, but in the parlor. I guess the floors are being waxed. Second announcement, I would like to remind the congregation that the last concert of this year's concert series will be a performance by Cynthia McLeod in the sanctuary on Saturday, not Friday, Saturday, May 10th at 8 p.m. I believe it will be a great concert, and we hope that everyone can attend. I would like to now invite first John Healy and then James Pidax to make a couple of announcements.
Morning, everyone. So the Social Action and Outreach Committee intends to place an item on the a congregational resolution of conscience and resistance as an article on the warrant at this year's annual meeting. Because of the escalating authoritarian assault on the rule of law and the Constitution by the federal government, in addition to its unconstitutional and really intentionally cruel seizure and deportation of immigrants and even citizens now. This proposed resolution is going to be proportionately a forceful and unequivocal condemnation of these hateful actions. As described in previous highlights, the committee is inviting feedback on the resolution at noon today in Mickelson, and next Sunday, same place, at a Zoom meeting this coming Wednesday. The link is in highlights. You can send your reaction through email to the Social Action Committee, and I left some of the draft of the resolution on a chair at the back of the sanctuary. And secondly, on a somewhat lighter note, setting the bar low, regarding the pledge. Well done, people. We are 92% of the way to the goal of $450,000, but that still leaves the 8%. So, but think of what a great feeling it would be to be at the annual meeting and having reached that goal. So please send in your pledge if you haven't done so already. There are cards out in the Sims room. You can pledge online. You could just send an email to the office stating your pledge. And as I'm pretty sure I've mentioned to you at previous pledge drives, please feel free to reach into the wallet of the person sitting in front of you and give as generously as you possibly can. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Good morning. I have a message from the Safety and Security Task Force. Spring has sprung, the grass has riz. I wonder when the fire drill is. Soon. Soon. Here are the basic instructions. When the fire alarm goes off, you must leave the building. If you're here in this room, exits are there and there. If you are in the RE wing, please follow the lovely instructions the nursery school has had up for years. Thank you.
Now let us prepare our hearts and minds for worship with the opening words from Mark.
We are here on a flowering day in April to worship in spirit and in peace, to affirm that we too are part of the spring, bold and blossoming, opening to new warmth, and to affirm that we too are rooted deep, not just in the earth, but in a rich heritage of both yes and no, praise and caution. And so as we begin our worship, we say, living our lives with purpose and gratitude, moved by the beauty of the world and claiming justice for all those who live upon it, we open our hearts to greater loving, healthier knowledge, deeper compassion, and hope of peace.
I now invite Ira Spencer to come forward to light the chalice. And the chalice lighting is Amending Walls, a rebuttal of the Mending Wall, and it's by Daryl Alessandro Holmes. If crucified means one has died on the cross, then what is the word in English for dying at the crossing between countries? What word describes when a brown woman's dreams of being something like a white man are killed at the intersection between his dreamt-up borders and his dream-come-true border patrol? Now please rise in body or in spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, This Old World, in the Gray Hymnal.
So I'd like to invite any of the kids who'd like to come forward to come forward. And one of the nice things kind of being a circuit rider is I get to sing all my favorite hymns in all the churches I go around. This Old World is one of my favorites. Love all those old Southern Harmony tunes. I also get to like break out the clown gear everywhere I go. And so what I want to, well, I'm going to tell you, Ivan. So what I want to show you all is that there's something special about humans that you may not know, which is that we are batteries. So watch what happens. If I hold this, and I hold it here, so there's like an energy that moves through us. So what I want to show you that's even more cool is there's someone who's like willing to hold my hand. Oh, so many. Well, why don't you come on? I met you already. So now you hold one end of this. I'm going to hold the other, and now let's hold hands. Now, so what I want us to do today is anyone who is not afraid of like germs or COVID or is able to move around, I would just like us to create as big a circle as we can around the sanctuary and see if we can light this up together. All right? Oh, hold on. Okay, why don't we all just kind of line up? So we're going to make a circle all the way around for anyone who'd like to move. Okay, so you're here. You want to jump in? All right, it's happening as long as we're here. So that's pretty neat. We're doing good. So far, so good. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of us here. And so what I want to say today is that this is a metaphor for what a UU congregation is. There is some energy that moves in us and through us together. And if we're all here and we're linked up, we can try this. Wait a minute. All right. Oh, wait a second. There we go. Now, what happens if one of us lets go? Right? So, I know for you all, this is a time of transition. It's a time where you're outside of what your normal church years look like, but still that energy's here. It doesn't matter who the minister is here. It doesn't matter who's in the building. That energy moves in and through all of us, and we need all of us to take part, because if we don't all show up, then we lose that energy. So that is our fun lesson for the day. All right. You like that?
We are the circus.
We now come to the centering time in the service, settling in body and in spirit, first through words and then ritual, kindling of the light, a time to light a candle of personal joy, sorrow, or concern, either here at the candle table or at home. At this time, if you would like a candle brought to you, please raise your hand. After we kindle the light, we will be together in a time of shared silence, out of which we will sing hymn number 134 in the gray hymnal, Our World is One World.
Our meditation this morning is The Same Stream of Life by Rabindranath Tagore. The same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It's the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth in numberless blades of grass, breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It's the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and death, in ebb and in flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment. Our reading this morning is from Robert Frost. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen ground swell under it and spills the upper boulders in the sun and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I have come after them and made repair where they have left not one stone on a stone. But they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. The gaps, I mean. No one has seen them made or heard them made. But at spring mending time, we find them there. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill. And on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go to each the boulders that have fallen to each. And some are loaves, and some so nearly balls we have to use a spell to make them balance. Stay where you are until our backs are turned. We wear our fingers rough with handling them. It's just another kind of outdoor game, one on a side. It comes to little more. There, where it is, we do not need the wall. He is all pine, and I am apple orchard. My apple trees will never get across and eat the cones under his pines, I tell him. He only says good fences make good neighbors. Now, spring is the mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbors? Isn't it where there are cows? But here there are no cows. Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. I could say elves to him, but it's not exactly elves. And I'd rather he said it for himself. I see him there bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top, in each hand like an old stone savage armed. He moves in darkness, it seems to me, not of woods only and the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father saying, and he likes having thought of it so well. He says again, good fences make good neighbors. And who is my neighbor? And who is my neighbor? It was a sweltering July afternoon. I drove from Amherst, New Hampshire, where I'd been hanging out with my granddaughter Sophia, to Derry to visit the farm where the poet Robert Frost lived with his family. The modest white farmhouse fronting Route 28, that was about 2 miles outside of Derry, was bequeathed to Frost by his paternal grandfather. And it appears now much as it did when they moved into it in the fall of 1900. I was treated to an after-hours tour of the house by an accommodating park ranger, and we talked as he locked up, and then I accompanied him out into the gravel parking lot. And just before he left, he pointed toward the woods and suggested that I take a look around, noting that the grounds were open until sunset. And so with the whole place to myself and guided by a small pamphlet, I made my way down through the pasture, across Hyla Brook, and into the surrounding forest. Not far into the woods, the pamphlet offered information about a long wall made of sizable stones still standing, though in a state of disrepair. This was it. The very structure that, along with the quote from Henry David Thoreau, inspired one of Frost's most famous poems, Mending Wall. He writes of the day that he and his neighbor meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go to each the boulders that have fallen to each. And though Frost has his misgivings, it is in the annual process of rebuilding this stone wall, dividing their respective properties, that Frost's neighbor then repeats that familiar line. Good fences make good neighbors. Good fences make good neighbors. But who is my neighbor? I remember a January day in 1994, climbing a parched, rocky hillside in northern Israel. Spread below us to the east was the complex border separating Israel from Jordan. And on the Israeli side, there's a wide expanse of open ground that's regularly swept smooth so as to show any footprints. And then an elaborate fence. And in between, a no man's land. And then another elaborate fence on the Jordanian side, it too bordered by a wide expanse swept smooth. As we stood and looked out, photographing this surreal sight, a Jordanian jeep approached on the other side. It stopped, and 2 uniformed occupants began shouting over to us, gesturing wildly. And our guide explained, they're telling you no photos, no pictures. As fences go, it would be hard to find a better one than that. But it didn't then, and it still doesn't now seem to be making for very good neighbors. But who's my neighbor? Of course, there's the fence along the southern border of the United States. That fence which has become a symbol of and touchstone for the deep polarity in this country. A fence that seems to divide Americans as much as it divides the United States from Mexico. That wall which was at the heart of a presidential campaign and a movement. And now the even more massive walls of Seacoat, the mega prison in El Salvador, symbol for the creaking bones of the American experiment. Those fences, too, don't seem to be making for very good neighbors. And who is my neighbor? That very question prompts one of Jesus' better-known tales, the one about the so-called Good Samaritan. Now, taken at face value, it sounds like a nice moralizing story, one told by that loving Jesus that we can all admire. A guy's in trouble, someone stops to help, try to be like that. What's not to like? But consider this commentary by Edwina Hunter, who's a professor at New York's Union Theological Seminary. She said that first audience, you can believe, was very much upset. Shocked is not too strong a word. Repulsed may not be too strong a word. No, his original audience was shocked because they and the Samaritans hated and despised each other. Hunter asks, so what does this parable have to say to us? And she says, we can only really hear it if we translate it very, very personally. Whom do I despise? Who do we fear? Who do we hate so much that we would hate even to speak their name? Or take it even further. Jesus said that the Samaritan actually touched the man who had been left for dead. He touched one who for him and his people was untouchable. What is Jesus saying? He's saying that we will never really understand who our neighbor is, who the one is that I'm supposed to love as myself until we're able to touch the untouchable one, till we're able to speak that unspeakable name. By whom would I least like to be helped, indebted to? Only then can we understand and really hear what Jesus was saying. And who's my neighbor? At the very heart of our liberal religion is this claim. We honor the interdependent web of all existence and acknowledge our place in it. Ultimately, to be is to be not independent, but interdependent. There's no way to truly separate ourselves. There's no way to get off that train or that blue boat. There's no place to go. There's no way to live off that grid. It includes all of us. Any illusion of separateness, of division, is just that, an illusion. Now, some have suggested that religion's role is to help us define our group or our clan or our tribe, who us is. And if that's so, our religion offers a very hard answer for us to live up to. Unitarian Universalism says that there is only us. There are no thems. What an enormous claim we are making, and what an incredible challenge to which we are calling ourselves. Interdependence forces us to ask the question of the common good because in the end, it's the only good there is. Citizen, non-citizen, documented, undocumented, differences with no ultimate distinction. Since we're all part of the same wed. Loving straight couples, loving gay couples, those supporting reproductive justice, those opposing it, all part of the same web. Hawks and doves, urban, suburban, rural, red states, blue states, Red Sox fans, Yankee fans, all part of the same web. Anyone here struggle with that? Anyone here ever think, why should we listen to what the fill in the blank? The fundamentalists, the undocumented immigrants, the radical right-wingers, the loopy left-wingers, the NAACP or the NRA, those with a prison record, those with little education or sophistication. Why should we listen to them? Anyone here ever think, or to be more honest, anyone else here ever think that if we could just get rid of the fill in the blank, climate change deniers, social media influencers, believers or Swifties, greedy corporate executives, tech bros, the irresponsible poor, the hateful homophobes, the biased bigots, if we could just get rid of them, we'd all be so much better off. But interdependence stands in judgment against all of our subgroupings. Religion, region, ideology, citizenship, species even. Interdependence stands in judgment on all fences. Interdependence declares love your neighbor and then insists that we're all neighbors. And who is my neighbor? Robert Frost decided, before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
The purpose of our church is to inspire everyone to become more generous in spirit and action. Our annual pledges help us fund our programs, pay our staff and leaders, and maintain our beautiful building. Passing the plate during worship is a way for us to express gratitude for our many blessings and celebrate the abundance in our lives. The funds collected from Share the Plate will be used to purchase food for the meals that we serve at the Dwelling Place. The Dwelling Place is a soup kitchen which provides meals for approximately 50 guests on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights at the United Methodist Church in Woburn. Here are the different ways you can donate. Those in the sanctuary may give cash, checks, or donate electronically. Text to the number in your order of service or visit our website under the giving page. If you're visiting for the first time, either in person or online, you are our guest. In-person attendees can find a physical visitor card in the pew racks in front of you. Please complete it and put it in the collection plate. Information about how to give online and how to complete the virtual visitor card will soon be shared with live stream attendees through text on your screen. The offering will now be generously given and gratefully received. those who wish to do so are invited to join in the unison affirmation. We gather not for ourselves alone, but to use our common power to build the beloved community within and beyond these walls. We create and reaffirm this covenant this day to make justice flourish, to practice compassion amidst difference, and to embody transformative love.
Beautiful affirmation. Really says everything I was trying to say in the sermon, but in a paragraph instead of 10 pages. So I just want to also say that it doesn't mean we don't fight for our values or witness for our values, but it means we do it with love in our hates and without dehumanizing folks. But it is really important to witness for the things that we stand for. And there are other sillier ways to do that too. And so I brought a little video for us this morning. This guy, Matt Harding, witnesses to some of those same values. Love, joy, peace, and he delivers that message of connection around the world in a very simple and joyful way.
That way, okay? Hold it steady.
And much easier and better than a sermon, but you all get the point. Those lyrics were, I believe, the Hindi translation of the poem by Tagore. So let us all sing with that joy, and that wonder, that grace. We're going to sing our closing hymn, which is hymn number 298, Wake Now My Senses. You can rise in body or spirit. Our closing words are from Alberto Blanco. Earth is the same, sky another. Sky is the same, earth another. From lake to lake, forest to forest, which tribe is mine? I ask myself, where's my place? Perhaps I belong to the tribe of those who have none, or to the black sheep tribe, or to a tribe whose ancestors come from the future, a tribe on the horizon. But if I have to belong to some tribe, I tell myself, make it a large tribe, make it a strong tribe, one in which nobody is left out, in which everybody, for once and for all, has a God-given place. I'm not talking about a human tribe. I'm not talking about a planetary tribe. I'm not even talking about a universal one. I'm talking about a tribe you can't talk about. A tribe that's always been, but whose existence must yet be proven. A tribe that's always been, but whose existence we can prove right now. May it be so for each of us and for all of us. Go in peace.
Let's read together the words for extinguishing the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. The service is ended, but our life of service continues. Let's continue the conversation in the Sims room.